Why are Titans so weird looking? This is a serious question, and to it I actually have a somewhat serious answer. I believe it's probably genetic. The Titan gene theory states that the unnatural traits Titans present are actually tied to their genetics. An example would be Aaron's teeth, Armin's nose, or even the Warhammer's distinctive skin pattern. And as the creator of this theory, I'm going to try to prove this by providing some examples to support it. This is just my theory, and I know some of the evidence doesn't quite add up, so take everything I say with a bit of a grain of salt. Alright, moving on. I first thought of this when I noticed that the jaw titan forms of Porco and his brother Marcel are basically recolors of the same design. They both have a hard skeletal face, plus a mane and a beard combo, even though both boys have decently short hair and are clean-shaven. This is because they're brothers, so obviously they'd look similar, whatever form they take, right? That raised a number of questions, so I built my theory. Now, what other Titan families do we have to analyze and test this on? Whether it be through good luck or really, really bad luck, Grisha Yeager has 2 Titan kids, a Titan wife, and even a Titan form for himself. Carla is the only person who doesn't have a Titan, but more on that later. By looking at this family tree of Titan designs, I can point out a few shared traits that are repeated. Mainly the fact that Grisha, Aaron, and Zeke all have those pointy elf ears we know and love. Okay, we don't actually know what Dina's ears look like because it's hidden by her hair, and obviously we don't have Carla's Titan form, but if we only use the data that we're given, it shows that the pointy ears trait was passed down by Grisha. Aaron also has another visible facial trait. I know, he's very unique, but I'm referring to his exposed teeth. And as we have seen, Grisha doesn't have those exposed teeth. I mean, we can't technically see the lower half of his face too well because of that beard, but I'm pretty sure hair doesn't grow out of teeth. In addition, Zeke doesn't have the teeth like that either, so for his genetic makeup, the trait was either recessive or just completely absent. Carla, on the other hand, could have been the one to give Aaron the exposed teeth gene. Maybe it was dominant in her, which would mean in her Titan form, it would have been visible. Or alternatively, she and Grisha could have both had the recessive exposed teeth genes, and then, as this Punished square shows, they got the lucky 1/4% chance that their son had teeth growing out of his face. Sorry, I didn't mean to go all the science of Attack on Titan on you. But by the logic that the teeth gene was dominant, therefore presenting in Carla, that means her Titan form would have, had the exposed teeth, at least probably. And don't worry, the exposed teeth is actually a fairly common trait. It's not just protagonists only. In fact, there's this one Titan in the beginning of chapter 5 in the manga who also has this trait. And, I wonder if they were a distant relative of Carla's from before her ancestors were split up and one party moved to Paradis. Another thing I think Aaron could have inherited from Carla was his body type. So, alright, I want to get this out of the way. Some features aren't going to be genetic. The Armored Titan isn't going to be not armored because of genes, or at least I hope not. The Colossal Titan, as far as I've seen, has always had no skin, regardless of what the Titan Shift pure Titan form looks like. And I don't think whatever Aaron's doing here is remotely related to his DNA. So, moving on, body types. Keep in mind, Grisha, Zeke, Dina, and Aaron in their human forms range from muscular to petite, but they're all fairly slim people. That's why I think it's interesting that the Titan forms don't reflect that. Grisha's body is more rectangular, and he's got tiny arms that are completely disproportionate. Zeke is also rectangular, and Dina has an enlarged ribcage that completely distorts anything humanoid about her body. And now, I'm not body-shaming anyone or these characters. They're Titans, which are known to play with human anatomy and change it around. Aaron, on the other hand, is exempt from this. He has a more muscular, lean build with a snatched waist. He isn't squarin'. So I think since Dina, Grisha, and Zeke are very similar looking, we can call this genetic. Either it's a heterozygous or even a pairing of 2 recessive genes, but in some form this was passed down, Probably. I don't have a whole lot of proof, but this is what I think. So, Carla probably might have passed down both the genes for having exposed teeth and a more humanoid body to Aaron, which gives us a fairly clear vision of what her Titan form would look like. Phew, that was a lot. On to some more light observations. Aaron steals the Warhammer in Season 4, but as we later see, his design doesn't change at all. The Warhammer has a pretty distinct look, with red stripes running down a milk-white face, like someone cut out rectangles from the skin. It looks kind of like a knight's helmet, which is what I believe they were going for. The interesting thing here is that the Warhammers we've seen in the past have all more or less had this look, these ribbons running down their face. Why? Is it another indisputable Titan fact that the Warhammer looks like this, same way the Colossal is skinless and the armor has armor? I don't think so. The Warhammer belongs to the Tiber family, and as far as we know, it's always belonged to the Tiber family, until now. So perhaps this pattern was a genetic trait that was just always present because the inheritors of it always carried the gene. They were in the same family after all. So since his DNA didn't suddenly mutate to have this trait, Aaron stays looking the same, even with the new power. I wonder if he's the only Warhammer in existence to not fit the mold. How very Aaron of him. Also, does anyone else remember those theories that were spiking up about Armin being a Tiber or royal blood because of how his nose was shaped or how he resembled Historia? With this new information, I think I'm going to try to argue my case, just for fun. I don't think he's royal because he doesn't have any special powers, but I do think he may be closer related to Ymir the Founder because of some similarities in their Titan forms. Armin's Titan's main traits are him not having no nose, just a cavity where it should be, and also having sunken-in eyes, like a skull. Ymir's Titan straight up has a skull for a face, so obviously she doesn't have much of a nose or too many eyes either. Also, they look kinda similar in their human forms. I mean, they're both smallish blondes. I don't know, but all Eldians are subjects of Ymir and technically related to her, so he definitely inherited that trait from someone who somewhere along the lines was related to her and might have gotten the trait from her. So technically, this theory is accurate, but only if you overthink it too much. So, yeah, that's the video. Let me know if my theory makes any sense to you, and I'm sorry if I was confusing or you had a hard time understanding. My headset isn't working the way it's supposed to, so the audio is a little messed up. I'm going to get it fixed soon, so this probably won't be a new norm, but bad mic or not, I have theories and I cannot be silenced. Goodbye.